First place decision match here in Group D. In the top left, in the yellow, playing for Korea and the Orcish Horde is Soin.
And in the bottom right, the Emperor, the Destroyer, the Killer, the Stone Cold Killer, if you will, it's Happy. All right, we'll have to keep an eye on if there's a War Mill or not, and then we'll have to keep an eye on will there be a Farseer or not. But as I said, I think it'll probably be a Farseer on this map, and we haven't seen a Barracks quite yet, so I think it'll be the Farseer. There we are.
Yeah, and indeed, the hero choice mostly has to do with how well you're going to be able to creep. Farseer, of course, is going to be played with Headhunters, whereas the Blade Master would be played with Grunts. There's still quite a few creeps with medium armor on this map, which could make one think that, you know, Grunts work out well. But for some reason, we still see Farseer most of the time, right? Is there, what's the reasons beyond that why we see so much Farseer here?
I think it's you have a lot of strong, quick level 2 creep routes that don't necessarily give you good blade items. You can go for the orange to the north of Soin's base if you want to get some blade items, but you tend to be a little bit slow on the map. Whereas if you go Farseer and you go for both the turtle green camps that we were just seeing on our map there, you get the immediate level 2, and then you can pressure the Death Knight quite easily with the Chain Lightning, with the Wolves, and normally by that timing, you can actually be level 2 against level 1, which is always great. Once Happy gets level 2 on his Death Knight, he'll have the slight advantage, but it all comes down to the mana count, the health count. So level 2 versus level 2 is not always going to be favoring Happy, but we'll have to see if someone even creeps or if he goes aggressive right away. There's plenty of options, but I think level 2 is probably the best one for Soin.
Happy, very unlucky, RNG-wise. The critter started into the green camp, so he can't really slay it right now with the Acolyte, which is supposed to be the plan.
That's rough. That's real rough.
The critter standing behind the creeps. Acolyte now going in. All right, he's still going to commit to it. I was thinking for a moment if perhaps he wants to pull out the camp with the Acolyte, but no, just wants to creep it as quickly as he can. When X-Lord played here against Hitman, he didn't go for this creep route.
Yeah.
He went for the ghoul creep, like one ghoul added to the creep and going for the orange right away. My feeling is always the DK struggles the most when he's stuck on level 1. So some orcs like to be very aggressive against the undead. Here Soin fits in one camp and then runs over with the Farseer, thinking to be in time, but he's not really. And Happy, I think, so far enjoying this early game, not being pressured too much yet.
Yeah, sometimes what we'll see from Orc players, if that turtle gets stolen, they'll just go to the Murloc to the left of Happy's base and still get their level 2 there, but Soin seems to be playing a little bit aggressive. Finds the Acolyte, going to pressure it a little bit, needs to scrape together a few kills on skeletons and maybe that Acolyte itself to get the level 2. Happy, 1.6 currently, not the item luck that we are used to seeing from Happy so far.
Yeah, those slippers will be appreciated on the Dark Ranger, which should always be the second hero choice. Oh, and that Acolyte actually gets killed. That is relevant. Every bit of experience here, very valuable in the early game. The power jump from 1 to 2 is immense, especially for the DK, but also the availability of Chain Lightning can make a big difference. Happy right now, as there is no Chain Lightning, has a much easier time securing these last hits through the coil. Gonna get this last hit. Oh, the Farseer has the opening.
Wait, Happy!
Big mistake by Happy. He didn't finish the creep, and now he can get it through Chain Lightning, but this one does go to Happy. Item to him as well as the circlet. Inventory is starting to look good for Happy, but that is an early game mistake after, you could argue, an early game mistake as well against Sock on map 2.
Right, yeah. And that Chain Lightning, it's always a bummer to waste the mana, but the coil timing was perfect from Happy. Yeah, it just proves how good Happy is that he makes a mistake like that, and we're like, oh my god, how is that even possible? But yes, the Soin not in a terrible position by any measure here. The Headhunters are very, very safe. I'm surprised he's been just so passive with the Headhunters, but now he's moving over to the Marketplace, which I think is an excellent creep route. Yes. He can even do one of the Murlocs after, and that'll be level 3. Maybe even he could just creep the entirety of the Marketplace and get level 3.
I think consumables, in this matchup specifically, are hugely impactful.
Right.
Especially for the Tauren Chieftain. Whether the Tauren Chieftain has a mana potion or a heal potion to work with is going to make a huge difference. Scroll the Beast can also be really good for Headhunters, but honestly, I think you rather want to have those mana slash HP items for the TC later on. But this is a fast level 3 for the Farseer, and this is what typically happens in this matchup. The Orc creeps faster and gets the level up first to 3.
Yeah, the Dark Ranger will be online pretty soon, if not right now, so that might be able to push back the Headhunters, but Soin has been playing very, very safe with the Headhunters. He's taken a tiny bit of damage, but he's going to have Troll Regen online soon. There's the Dark Ranger, but But just as we see that hero pop out of the tavern, the Headhunters go back to meet up with soon-to-be the Tauren Chieftain coming out of the altar back at Soin's base. The Farseer is going to keep pressuring, but no salves, of course. So if he takes any more damage, if he eats a coil here and there, he's going to have to go back home.
This matchup, of course, has been on many people's minds ever since the changes, how to approach it, how to perfect it. I had a very interesting conversation a couple of days ago with Hitman when we were talking about how to, especially creep, how to play aggressively and how to, manage between aggression and passivity. And he said what really sets 1-0 apart, who he views to be the best, is that he scouts very well and will be ready to play aggressive and punish greedy creeping if it occurs, whereas Happy will always play super safe and not be concerned with being aggressive until he finally has tier 3. And I think he had a really great point there. Happy's weakness has always been this matchup, and he has been criticized for being a bit too passive in the early game. The Farseer, by the way, didn't pay enough attention to it at all. That's a big mistake by Soin. He was creeping a green camp in the meantime, which shouldn't require that much effort. And that TP is gone for a long time.
Yeah, very weird. Yeah, I think the green camp, you nailed that on the head right there. Like, why would you need to pay so much attention to that camp? You could just move into it and you'll kill it. But still a lot of time bought, I suppose, with the Farseer. Now he can heal up, get more mana, and he's right back at it. Happy a little bit predictable with that creep, but he does get the whole camp. Still level 2. 2.7. And now Happy maybe going to do that orange that he's close to with the Knolls, but the TC's already power creeping.
And that's, of course, the strength of the Farseer. You can solo harass the opponent and force them to play passively and creep safely across the map. Whereas the DK can, of course, never do that, because then the Fiends are too exposed, the Farseer finds the kills, and it's going to be a hugely Orc-favoring trade. So, especially the early game and mid game does favor the Orc quite a bit, but the late game, that is where the Undead can turn it all around. The goal here for Happy will be to not fall too far behind until he finally has 50 to 60 supply.
Yeah, Soin going for the red camp in the meantime, continuing to pressure. Happy still struggling to get that level 3 and struggling to get really good items. Those slippers and the circlet are all right, but nothing much more. Maybe he can get something nice. Here, Pendant of Energy would be the nuts, which is, of course, what Soin already got. Uh-oh. He does get the coil. The item's still on the ground, but will be picked up by the Dark Ranger, and it is a pendant on both sides.
Did he steal the last hit with a wolf? He's 3.3 now.
Yeah, he should have been Happy should have been level 3 off that. Oh my god.
I think he did.
That was the second last hit from this camp as well. He got one earlier.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. And it's taking Happy forever. Another big power spike for the Undead here is level 3 Dark Ranger. Level 2 Black Arrow against Headhunters or Berserkers is very, very strong, but at the moment he's still far away from that. Happy looking perhaps for a surround, force the speed scroll out of the Orc. This is the aggressive move that Happy is not known for. Trying to close that surround, doesn't quite manage to. But even forcing just one charge of Wand of the Wind is kind of a big deal. That's a super high impact item in the late game fights.
Yeah, Raider took a lot of damage. TC especially took a lot of damage, so someone had to get out of there. And there was no town portal.
He played without Beast Fury, right? Oh, no, okay, no.
First
Raider took a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I should try to listen, sorry about that. But yeah, couldn't try to cover the retreat there with the Ensnare. TC got level 3 though, and we have quite the sizable experience lead for Soin as the sort of the norm in this match.
Absolutely, yeah. The creeping was very, very fast. The TP was forced earlier because the creeping was so fast, but still all is well that ends well. And a consumable for Happy is Scroll to Beast as well, so both sides have it, but it seems like Soin sold his. I find that kind of interesting. He could definitely use it in a fight.
And now Soin is looking for the opening. He knows the Lich isn't there yet. Happy TP's out, gonna lose one Fiend, tried to get the Raider. Didn't quite manage to. That Raider just barely getting away. One clause on the Dark Ranger would have made the difference. And that is Soin, I think, for the first time taking a bit of a lead this game. That Fiend loss is relevant.
Happy's about to hit a power spike. He's going to have Burrow, he's going to have Destro Form, and he's going to have Lich with Orb. So he may have the strength to take this second consumable camp there. He can perhaps get the greater mana that he's been looking for the entire game surrounding the Gargantuan, and he's going to go for that consumable. Soin realizes this power spike is coming, so he's just going to creep passively himself, take the last camp on the bottom side of the map, and then he's going to take a fight. But the Shadow Hunter, is it with the main army yet? It has to be, right? Yeah, there it is. So both players seemingly ready to fight.
Early Destroyer morph from Happy, something we didn't see too much by him lately. Very important to position that well. Raider running forward. Speaking of positioning, that Raider completely out of position, but got the Ensnare on the DK. Used illusions to block the TC. Are you kidding me? TC can't connect for the Stomp. That was a sick move! Shadowhunter gets nuked in the meantime. Happy with a hell of a play, completely outplaying Soin in this engagement. Going for the Lich now next, but there's no Hex anymore. However, Wand of the Wind dispels it. Coil flies! Doesn't quite get it. Farseer gets the kill. The Shadowhunter on the bench now along with the Lich. Coil flies! Of course the TP was gone! The mistakes for Soin mounting! And Happy with that perhaps getting the win here. The TC, the strongest hero still on the field, but the only one left. And doesn't have mana anymore. Dark Ranger finally level 3. And Happy. That was incredible. With the illusions keeping his DK safe, and Soin getting a bit too thirsty, a bit too greedy, gives away the lead, and the Emperor will punish him right away. Didn't we talk about that earlier? Nobody punishes you as heavily as Happy does.
Oh my god, absolutely the play of the tournament right there. That was ridiculous. Someone saw the opening, and it was a great opening. A lot of players would have gone for that play. No TP, no way to save the Death Knight. And he goes for it, but the illusion block preemptively. Happy just sees into the future every second of every game. And the Dark Ranger gets level 3, gets tons of kills, and Happy in the driver's seat when I thought it was going very well before that for Soin. Still opportunity. They're both going to creep the remnants of what's left on the map, but the hero levels are starting to get up to that point. The level 3 Dark Rangers you mentioned earlier, a massive upgrade for Happy, and he's coming forward now, going to get the potion of vulnerability from the shop, and maybe he's ready to fight yet again.
That was sick, dude. I see a lot of Happy games, but I've never seen that before. Running in with the Raider, wasn't looking. The next mistake by Soin. You can't afford to make these. He's going for Hail Mary plays, now he's going for the hero kills. That's a big stomp. The DK getting affected, trying to transfer an item. The Lich is trying to reach him.
It's dead.
But he can't. Good block this time also by Soin. Happy has lots of gold, can try to go for a Tavern Res. That was a very nice play indeed. TC trying to run away. Lots of experience for the Orc as well. And Happy with the first mistake perhaps this game after that Trapper. Good play by Soin. TC now 4.7. That level 5 can be half a win condition for the Orc.
All right, DK back. The TC very much out of position, but Happy doesn't go for it. You know, he maybe could have gone down and tried to get a nuke, but there's a heal scroll, and now Happy's just going to run up, try to get some more creeping done. Maybe a little over-eager there to fight without a town portal with the potion of vulnerability. Not on the right hero, I think, there. And now he's going to creep. This is really good from Happy, though. Because he realizes he's going to be fighting soon, he's just creeping a small camp and, importantly, getting these skeletons ready for the next engagement.
Soin goes to the middle, was checking for an Invul Potion. He doesn't have one. This TC not protected through Invul Potion. And Happy, he so expects this Creepjack to be coming in, perhaps. Catches the statue, but bad angle of engage. This is a really narrow choke. Part of the army is still lagging behind. And the big problem for Soin, he lost the Shadowhunter. He still doesn't have Heal Wave, only Hex.
Yeah, one more kill. The Coil Nova on the Tauren Chieftain is already very, very low. The heal scroll might have to be used just for the one hero. Stomp is good. Chain Lightning is good. There's no Coil. Scroll the Beast is used. The statues are in the perfect position. Now Burrow on the Fiends to try to save them. The Tauren Chieftain is oh so low, but there is Heal Wave now. Soin finds a decent angle there, but look at the skeletons. Look at the ghouls. A ton of normal damage, and Soin retreating, but he's going to lose a ton in the retreat.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Nova. The Lich perhaps out of range at the moment. TC got no experience there. Can't really re-engage, but he's trying to. The DK is still exposed, but he's got the Invul Potion, right? There's no way he can get this DK. Soin with the wrong read. It was impossible to find this hero kill. Loses the TC and more units. And probably map 1.
Happy just with the insane micro. Time and time again, and now the surround to finish things off. Soin trying to Chain Lightning his way out of it, but I think this is going to be 1-0 for the Emperor. Lich level 3, and GG is called for game 1.
Happy gets the comeback. As we've seen so many times before, he falls behind the early game, which just seems to be the nature of the matchup at the moment, if it's Farseer Headhunter play. But he comes back in the late game. Soin with a couple of wrong reads, also throwing away a couple of Raiders here and there, but the big one was trying to go for the hero kill DK. With perhaps the sickest save I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Double Wand of Illusion to block away the TC. And that was intentional, 100%. He was microing those illusions.
Yes.
It was visible.
That's totally crazy. I have one question for you. When you pop the illusion, does it go in front of your hero that is facing? So he faces towards the TC, double charge of illusion, and goes for it. Here we're going to see that play back. Let's watch. Okay, he preemptively does it. You see, he did it before the TC. Even. Oh my god, Happy.
He knew it was coming.
Absolutely ridiculous. Kills the Shadowhunter with a silence as well, so there's not another Hex before he dies. gets the DK out of danger, and then he does lose the Lich. But look at this coil, almost lands. The Devour coil, 1 second, barely not even a second away, kills the Farseer. Such a crazy sequence for Happy, proving why he's the greatest player in the world potentially right now.
And this was the one crucial mistake where the DK was too far forward. If he's more conservative with the DK positioning, he can take that fight pretty easily. But Soin there finds the opening. He looked for more hero kills beyond that, but Happy this time was cautious and ready. He had the Invul Potion on the Death Knight. He knew Soin, especially with not having the Invul Potion himself, would have a tough time. Invuls in this matchup extremely important. And on this map, Tidehunter's only one shop, so this is going to be the most important late-game purchase. On map 2, this again will be relevant, because Northern Isles also only one shop. Soin, this is going to bite him, maybe. He definitely had a lead this game, and he kind of threw it away.
Absolutely, and we'll see how he does in map 2. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Northern Isles.
The DreamHack WarCraft Free Championship is brought to you by Norton Gaming and Coinbase.
And we're back with Group D winner bracket finals. Happy up 1-0, an absolutely ridiculous performance with a couple of mistakes from both sides, but really with a highlight play to end all highlight plays. That was, I don't think we're going to stop talking about that for the rest of the week here.
Yeah, never seen that before.
Yeah.
Been watching this game for 15 years. That was amazing. Like, to have the presence of mind before the Hex comes in. Woof, still kind of shaking from that one. Soin, he tried hard with the hero kills. Sometimes it worked. It's oftentimes also a bit of a sign of desperation when you're trying to go for the hero kill.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also the easiest way to win a game against an inferior opponent, but it's certainly not what Happy should be considered as. The big reason why he got ahead on map 1 was that the Farseer got level 3 so fast. And map 2, spoiler alert, is going to be Northern Isles. Worries me a bit for Soin, because here the level 3 creep route, not so clear cut for the Farseer headhunters, and might be a lot harder to achieve at the time he wants.
Yeah, the only real way you can get level 3 in the early game is if you trade level 3s, which I think Happy's going to be totally fine with. He's going to have a ton of mana on the DK level 3 himself, and then he's going to be able to have that map control at tier 2 with the Dark Ranger and the level 2 Cold to get the middle camps. So we'll see how it plays out. Maybe a Blade Master, but I might be saying that too often, might be cursing it. We're probably going to get the Farseer again, but we'll find it all out here on Northern Isles map 2, starting us off in the bottom left. Can Soin do it? Here he is. Soin.
Top right, the Emperor, apparently also the master of highlights from Russia for the undead. The last hope is Happy.
Okay. All right. Let's see. These Orc vs. Undeads, man, they have not disappointed so far. Starting to like this matchup more and more. At least watching it. It's very fun. We'll see. The War Mill coming in for Soin, so going to be a similar game to last, but I think that level 3 is going to be the difficult side of it. Absolutely. That's going to be, like, the creep route will be interesting for Soin. I think for Happy it'll be pretty cut and dry. He's going to go for that green camp into the Murloc, and then he's going to play probably reactively based on what Soin's doing. But for Soin, he can get his own level 2, and then from there it will really be deciding, like, how is he going to innovate this? What is he going to do differently? Because he's going to need to pull something out.
There's a pretty good early game plan, creep route for the Orc available here. Going for the 2 greens right away with like wolves and headhunters and stuff, and then run across the map, perhaps even with a grunt, run across the map and then compete the second green camp and prevent level 2 for the DK. And as I don't tire of saying, that aura makes all the difference in the world. If you can manage to force the DK to stay on level 1, you're gonna have a great time. So there's also space for Happy here to perhaps innovate. Can he somehow find the timing to manage to get to that level 2 before the Farseer can do anything about it? And maybe the Scout Acolyte is, you know, part of that equation. Like, just, you don't think much of it, that 9 to 10 damage, but in this high level play, it counts for every second, you know, every second matters here. So this Acolyte will help with creeping. Maybe even invest 2 coils on the first camp. It might be worth it.
Absolutely, yeah. And the critter positioning is very good this time around. It kind of always is on Northern Isles. And Happy is kind of the Laliat of undead creeping. He really is so efficient, especially his movement from camp to camp in the late mid-game is excellent. And for now, it's no different. He's going to get everything perfectly on time. Soin is going for his big Murloc, and then he runs straight over. What he's attempting to do, I think, is steal Happy's little Murloc before he gets there. But I don't know if that timing works just ever.
Yeah, I think Happy can just go to the green right now with the DK already. But he finishes the rest of the camp, and yeah, Farseer won't be able to steal this one before the DK arrives, or at least shouldn't. Of course, right now, the DK still has the last hit advantage. Perhaps slight mistake by Happy. If he loses this last hit, it's due to him being there late with the Death Knight, but no, he is not too late. And this should be an easy last hit for Happy indeed. It was a bit close, but he times it well with the right click, and now only 1 creep away from the level up. And Soin, he did not creep that level 2, so there's nothing really he can do about this. Only hope to drain more coils. Does manage to do that. Farseer flirting with us around, but Happy gets level 2 fast against level 1 Farseer, and this is already a better early game than it was on TH.
Yeah, this is very, very good from Happy. I think a slight mistake there in the creep route from Soin. That never works. It really doesn't. Even if you run straight over with the Farseer, you still don't hit that timing. You still cannot get one of those Murlocs. Sometimes you can get the Huntsman if the Undead messes up, but Happy's not messing up at all. He's now creeping again aggressively, but this is just going to be a dead Headhunter. Maybe even 2. The Aura's online. There's coils.
Maybe he practiced against undeads who don't creep with the Acolyte,
Right.
and then maybe it works. But here it sure didn't. And now with the aura, you can chase very effectively. That one headhunter is certainly dead. Well,
block.
trying to get in front to block. Maybe that can work out. But here again, the aura. Carson, the aura! It's making all the difference.
That's a one headhunter. But Soin will secure at least his own level 2 here, killing the Acolyte, killing some skeletons. Fiend going to be pressured a bit, and there's no coil currently. Another headhunter getting quite low. Actually, 2 getting quite low, and that coil is going to come online, not to save the Fiend, but maybe to snag another kill. And this is excellent. Although we did see Hitman lose 4 headhunters, a grunt in the early game, and still come back with that tier 3 power spike. So this isn't the end of the world, but it's definitely a big advantage for Happy.
Yeah, this faster headhunter style with Triple Hero also has great comeback potential, even if you're behind, as you pointed out. Like was visible by Hitman against X-Lord. The claws, of course, for Happy were great. Even the gauntlets in this early game really good. The lightning shield, the worst drop, however. You know, the Dark Ranger comes in, and the headhunter gets ensnared. This will be the 3rd one to fall. Soin falling apart on Northern Isles.
A lot of damage. Can the wolf get in front? He tries to re-summon. That's a lot of damage. Is there enough mana for a chain lightning? Lightning shield as well. Oh my god, another headhunter.
God.
So well done from Happy. Mike, I don't think he's going to lose anything either. Yeah, he's getting so many kills.
And he's staying in range for the aura, for the move speed, for the Fiend, but not taking damage on the DK. This is, to meme a bit, what peak performance looks like. But, well, that's not a joke. That's just the truth. And the Dark Ranger can just keep on creeping. She's got Skellies right there. She can steal the Tuskar away right now as the DK gets safely back into the main.
There should be a chain lightning. There's a coil in 5 mana. Yeah, he's going to get this Fiend. Nicely done. Happy being pressured quite a bit, but he can always buy a potion if he really needs to. I love that Happy, first with the Fiend, blocked the lower Fiend, and then he moved the direction and blocked so the DK could get away. He blocked with 1 Fiend for 2 different paths. Ridiculous. Nice deny, but as you pointed out, Dark Ranger already going to be, what was this, 2.4, 2.5 with a greater mana in the slippers. The nuts for these 2 camps. And level 3 is almost online already.
Yeah, on T8 it wasn't the best consumables for Happy. It was one of mana stealing, and I don't know if he got something else, but here it is, the big mana.
Scroll the Beast.
Once again, Scroll the Beast, that's right. Wow, what a sick early game. That is normally a camp that's going to be guaranteed for the TC, but not this game. And I want to echo what I said earlier. These consumables are such a big difference makers.
Yep.
Big difference maker. If the TC heads into a fight without mana potion and without heal potion, and in the worst case without invul potion, it's going to be a completely different story. It almost feels like a different hero. TC is extremely strong, in my opinion, as you guys saw from the tier list. The strongest hero in the game, but he does need items, especially consumables.
Absolutely, and we saw that being the difference maker on Tidehunter's as well, not being able to save that TC at the end. Nothing for more stomps, nothing to heal him up or make him invulnerable. It was very, very difficult, just had that heal scroll. He's going to get, hopefully for Soin's sake, a Pendant of Energy here. They both got one last game. He's going to at least get that 2.4, I believe, but Happy continues to creep, continues to get a ton of skeletons, and then he's even got his 2nd consumable to go for if he desires.
And now the middle seemingly should be going to Happy. Dark Ranger pretty strong with the skeletons. Once the first statue is out, that's when Happy really is going to feel comfortable here on tier 2. But Soin with a ridiculously fast tier 3, so he's going to have a very clear 3rd hero advantage for a while.
No chain lightning available to get this last hit. Happy going to coil just to guarantee it. Gets Talisman of Evasion. Not the greatest, of course, but again, hero focus on the Death Knight is seemingly a possibility. And he's just trying to delay, but without the level 2 wolves, it's very difficult for Soin to do much of anything. Torn Chieftain actually going to get the Marketplace. Maybe Wand of the Wind again, Mana Stone, Health Stone, all very good. Even Ankh Heal Wards. Book of the Dead is the only bad item, actually, unfortunately for Soin.
Gonna use it right away to creep. He knows destroyers will be coming in, trying to get value out of it right now. Doesn't have heal cells anymore. It seems like a bit of a mistake in his macro, if you want to call it that, because now he certainly can't contest at all. He has to run back to the main, get the heal cells, and only then can he continue to creep. He's gonna lose the TP again.
Oh, fake coil. Very nicely done. Did have to burn the greater mana for it, but obviously worth it. This is exactly what happened on Tires. The TC and the Raider were very low, have to go back for salves. The Farseer gets forced to TP at the same time by a little bit of a sloppy movement. And then Happy gets an aggressive camp, but Soin ready to fight. He's going to have all the tier 3 kicking in right now. Happy 5 seconds off. Then the Lich can be started. Then the Orb Destroyer form going to be on the way, even +1 to boot. So Happy's going to be ready to fight, but he's maybe 50, 60 seconds out currently.
You know, it's a simple caster cop-out thing to say, but I think it's true here. Soin just isn't playing clean enough.
Right.
The early game creep route didn't work out, not well studied enough. The movement, the Farseer level up timing, the Headhunter losses, it's too many mistakes that are just gonna kill you against Happy. Soin is really far behind right now, we're even in supply, but don't let that fool you.
And Flute, by the way, also for Happy. Why not, right? Red Camp does go to Soin. He gets a Helm of Valor, which is all right for the TC, I guess, but obviously not great. And he's going to get some more experience, which is what is important. Level 3 in the Torn Chieftain. Still no level 3 in that Farseer, which it cannot be underestimated. Those Wolves, there's not going to be a lot of destroyers from Happy.
Happy, importantly, got the Invul Potion. That means TC can't really fight. There's no Invul to save him. There's no heal pot because that one was stolen away.
Yep.
Possibly by the Tuskar or, of course, Invul. And the Shadowhunter is going to have Hex first, as he always does. Now, the bottom right could possibly all go to Happy. Because of that Invul Potion, mainly, all these big camps that are left might go to the Russian.
Potential for a Pendant of Energy at last, what Happy's looking for, absolutely. Creepjack kind of coming in, Crystal Ball, not going to be great, reveals the expansion immediately, just in case of that quick, tiny Great Hall, but Orc players generally too afraid of Happy's strong tier 3 timing to go for that early. Ensnaring the statue, going to give vision to Soin. Is he ready to fight without the Potion of Vulnerability? I really don't think so.
Happy nowadays more and more again with one single destroyer, mainly to have something against the Hex. His destroyer control is the best in the world by far. Soin gonna try to go in. If the TC gets too close, he's gonna get silenced and nuke probably. Silence comes in, TC can't break out of it. Nova right-clicks TC, about to fall, has to run out, didn't get off a single one of his stomps. He does survive with a heal scroll, but he can't enter again into this fight. Going for the Kodo right after Fiend returns, and Happy is completely destroying this fight. As we were expecting, because of the Invul Potion being on Happy's side, it changes everything. He gets the kill there, level 4 on the DK. And this fight was a complete disaster for Soin. We kind of saw it coming, but also understandable. Like, Soin can't just say, whatever, you're stronger, creep the whole rest of the map. You have to kind of contest those camps, otherwise you're going to be too far behind.
The Potion finally goes to Soin, but just when he's not strong enough to fight. If he had it before, obviously he would have been able to take that because he would have gotten the Stomp, even broken the Silence and gotten that Money Stomp. But now it's all Happy. He's going to get this bottom right red, and then he's got 2 more camps close by to creep. That could even be with Lich level 3 if he wanted. He's got 4-4 on the DK Dark Ranger. That's absurd at this stage in the game. Only 11 minutes. That is outrageous. How much of the map has he gotten? It seems like he's gotten, like, what, 70%, 65% of the map so far?
Yeah, and thinking especially about this opening creep route, this looks more and more like a good unlit map once again. Gonna have to remember that for my latter games. Don't scout with the Acolyte, just creep with the Acolyte. Yeah, Soin. How can he come back into this one? Low-level Shadowhunter was the problem on map 1 already. This seems to be the same once more. Happy pulling out the red camp. If he gets this one, he's really gonna fly away in levels. Lich now gets level 2. That's a big upgrade as well for that Frost Armor, as it already feels like the only option left for Soin is Hero Kill. He's gonna try it once again. Hex running in, and he gets off the Stomp. Can he get the kills now? TC in trouble, has the Invul, might be forced into it soon, but he doesn't go for the TC! He goes for the Shadowhunter, he didn't have the Invul Potion. TC forced into it, gets off one more Stomp. That was the last one perhaps. DK getting surrounded, might be in trouble. Remember, no TP on the Farseer anymore. Coil flies, and he dies again. Soin, every mistake he makes, he gets punished for. Here we saw the mistake of losing the TP earlier, coming back to bite him. And once more, it's only the TC left standing against Happy with all 3 heroes, and 1,000 gold to make matters worse for the Korean, who is for sure going to be dropping to the lower bracket. He really wants that hero kill on the DK, but doesn't get it this time. GG called on map 2. It's very clear as the Emperor owns that game and leaves no chance to Soin.